to the new Member of the European Parliament for the Dublin constituency, Joe Higgins.
Those who attended the gig that we had, fundraising gig in O'Shea's Hotel, I think it's just 2 weeks ago now. Time seems to have become a confused issue in my mind in recent weeks. Things have happened so intensely and so fast. But one of the things I said at the time, it was just in the wake of the second Irish Times opinion poll, and I said that we had them worried. And we've gone a little bit beyond that since. I would like to start by thanking everybody who assisted us in the course of this campaign. We had magnificent support, which I'll go on to in a moment. But this was, by any stretch, an extraordinary election. And it's extraordinary particularly for those who might go back a few decades and know and have lived through the history of politics in this state, and particularly the history of Fianna Fáil. And going back a few decades in elections, even to the late 70s, and then the 80s and the 90s, to see that party as a major party of the big business establishment strutting around the stage, arrogant in the extreme, as if they owned this country and understood that they dominated completely. And having witnessed that in election after election, and particularly in elections after the Socialist Party or the Labour Party participated in government with Fine Gael in disastrous coalitions, allowing Fianna Fáil to pose as an alternative, and then to see the huge arrogance that resulted from that, and then to watch against that background what happened in the course of this campaign to this party. Because in this election campaign, above all, Fianna Fáil was found out for the party that it really is. Not the party with our friendly mascot Bertie as the friend of the working class, Anorak man, the fella you'd bump into on Hill 16 as you left a match, or he might buy you a pint of Bass down in the local pub. It has instead been found out as the party of the speculator, the party of the big banker, the party of those who for 10 years ripped off mercilessly the younger generation of workers in this society. But happily, that party has been found out to be shown to be precisely that. And that, to me, was illustrated brilliantly in the course of this campaign. And one morning early, myself and a group of our comrades were standing at Tara Street rail station, where people were pouring in from the north side and the south side of Dublin, where we were there offering our material, seeking support in the election campaign. And where a half an hour after we had taken up our positions, a lonely figure arrived to join us and remained a lonely figure on her own for the next hour or so. That was incredibly a Fianna Fáil senator who stood attempting to give out the literature of Owen Ryan. And the type of reception that she got just demonstrated what was going on in the course of this campaign. A number of people took the card that she offered, looked at it, walked back and put it back into her hands, and then walked straight over to our members, took our leaflets and walked away, making a very deliberate point in that regard. And as she, before she was struck silent by the mood, muttered, "Owen Ryan #1, one man hissed as he passed her, 'Not if he was the last man on the planet.'" That indicates how this party has been found out as a party of big business, and of course we saw that clearly in the course of the campaign itself. And of course the other party that had set itself up as a stepping stone for Fianna Fáil, the Greens, couldn't really have been surprised if they understood the minds of ordinary people properly, that having wiped out Fianna Fáil, the people wiped their feet on the Greens as they left the polling stations. And we have to say that both parties, Fianna Fáil for what it did in terms of the speculators, the crashing of the economy through the greed, and then the Green Party in terms of supporting Fianna Fáil in taking out with a vengeance the fruits of this crisis on the backs of ordinary working people, unemployed people, pensioners and the poor. Both parties got in this election absolutely what they deserved. Now,